Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Little Nightmares theory video. Now that I have had time to calm myself from the frantic surprise there was Little Nightmares 2 being announced, it was like a scene from Little Nightmares where all the guests are piled chasing Six, apart from I was the guest, and instead of chasing Six, I was chasing Little Nightmares 2, the trailer. But a lot of things have been confirmed, and with some of the things that have been confirmed, I think I may have an idea on the timeline in which Little Nightmares 2 is set in. So, there was an interview recently at Gamescom that David Mervick did, in which he stated it was a sequel, but they are not telling where in the timeline it is set yet. I will link the interviews of everything I discussed today in the description below so you can go watch it for yourself and understand what I'm talking about, or get your own opinions based on what you see. So, I've had a rewatch of the trailer and I'll be making a follow-up video about that analysis in particular in the next sort of day or two. And even though we play as a new character called Mono, it is confirmed that the girl in the yellow raincoat is Six. But watching the trailer, you see Six put on a yellow raincoat, and on the floor is the old ragged coat. And why would Six be putting on the raincoat? Well, the simple answer is I feel like Little Nightmares 2 is set before the Moor. The evidence pointing to that isn't just Six putting on the yellow raincoat, but one of the main enemies in the Little Nightmares 2 trailer, and that is the teacher. And we have seen her picture before in the Residence DLC. There was a wall full of different pictures and characters that we had never seen before. Until now, there are a lot of clues in the Moor's pictures. We even have an half-eaten apple picture, and on a pile of books, which of course looks very similar to the apple that we see on the teacher's desk in the Little Nightmares 2 trailer. The very interesting thing about this is the actual pictures align up very well because of the condition of the apple. We also have a picture of school-like children, and even this picture, this looks like the enemies in the Little Nightmares 2 trailer, where you could smash these doll-like children over the head with the kitchen utensils. And not to mention the picture of the tall figure, which we see in the Moor too. It's crazy to think that when we're playing the Residence and looking at the wall for all these pictures, we had absolutely no idea that we were looking at Little Nightmares 2. And how would the Moor have known about all these people without us ever encountering them first, unless they would have come before? The other piece of evidence we have for this is that Very Little Nightmares, yep, that's right, Very Little Nightmares had a very intriguing ending, where we seem to find out how Six got her raincoat, and in Very Little Nightmares we see what looks like Six to be dressed in rags, but we never actually see her get her coat. We see the coat rise to the surface of the water, and it looks like it's drifting away. Then we see what seems like Six going down to get it, and at the start of the Little Nightmares 2 trailer, it looks like Six is washed up on shore. But notice how she isn't wearing her bright yellow hooded raincoat. And even though it looks a bit yellow, I feel that this may just be the lighting coming from the TV and obviously the surrounding world. And one of the bigger things to note here is that Six is famous for her huge hood and her raincoat, and I don't see a hood on this one. Was there a reason they released Very Little Nightmares before Little Nightmares 2? I feel like it may have been to fill a gap between them, just so that we can understand what's going on in Little Nightmares 2. In Little Nightmares we see pictures of Six in a yellow raincoat drawn all around the Moor. So how would Six be drawn in a yellow raincoat before she had even had it? In the trailer it looks a lot like Mono is teaching Six about survival. This maybe is why you're able to give her instructions during the puzzles. If so, this could be how Six was able to survive the Moor like she did. I don't know about you, but all this has made my mind go haywire with speculation. If this theory is correct, and I mean it is just a theory, so I could be completely wrong. But if it is correct, and in the timeline I'm stating, there is a possibility for so much more to be answered here. But honestly, could you imagine playing Six and seeing at the end of Little Nightmares 2 how she gets taken to the Moor? or even how she becomes to get her powers. And I say her powers because, interestingly enough, at the 2019 Gamescom, they released a special collectible for Little Nightmares 2. And I'll show you the picture, obviously, right now. And it looks to be as if it's 6 overpowering mono, or her consuming him, or something along that line. But it's interesting to find they would tease that with a toy. So in short, my theory would be that obviously Little Nightmares 2 is a sequel to the franchise, but not necessarily a sequel in the timeline. I believe it goes very Little Nightmares 2, and then Little Nightmares. And if this theory is true, then it could lead to potential possibilities for progressing the story even more down the line if they ever wanted to make another, or the show gets any more information and stuff like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in today's little small theory video. There is going to be some more stuff coming out in the future, of course, but let me know what you think about this theory and the timeline, and what you think is going to happen and where it all sits. Let me know in the comments below, and remember, as usual, if you like the video, hit like. If you want to keep up to date with the Little Nightmares content and every other game theory that's going to be coming out soon, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in the next theory video. Bye!